53, Ricardo. Junior linebacker, number 3, Isaiah Maldonado.
Good evening, everyone. Toppenish High School welcomes you to Wildcat Stadium for tonight's football contest between our visiting Naches Rangers and our very own Toppenish Wildcats. The SCAC encourages and promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, parents, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As SCAC student athletes, we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support this effort. Also at this time, I'd like to thank the Toppenish Fire Department for their commitment, dedication, and their assistance to Wildcat football. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the defensive squad from our visiting Naches Rangers. At tackle number 66, Jan Meza. Tackle number 60, Hunter Turley. Defensive end number 52, Josiah Hankins. Defensive end number 50, Jesse Benji. Linebacker number 20, Mitch Helgert. Linebacker number 11, Grant Osborne. Linebacker number 32, Thane Denny. Strong safety number 8, Xander Hires. Free safety number 5, Garen Guler. Excuse me. No, and at the corners, number 7, Ty Moore. At the corner, number 3, Noah Robles. Head coach, Matt Keeler. And now for the Wildcats, they'd like to go with their offense tonight. In reverse order, offensive lineman number 53, Ricardo Gonzalez. Offensive lineman number 63, Joaquin McCord. At center, number 69, Rocco Clark. On the line, number 57, Joshua Luna. On the offensive line, number 76, Kanem Simpson. At wide receiver, wearing number 11, Shane Rivera. Other wide receiver, number 4, Adrian Villanueva. Wide receiver number 23, Nick Cortez Jr. Wide receiver number 10, Jason Grant. Running back number 28, Timmy Torres. And the quarterback tonight, number 7, Joshua Perez. Wildcats are coached by their head coach, Mr. Jason. Your officials for tonight's game, Mr. Jim Penning is the referee, umpire Craig Ward, the head linesman Stephen Campbell, line judge Todd Bogarowick, and the back judge is Cody Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time would you all please rise? Gentlemen, take off your hats and your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, it will be sung by our senior cheerleader, Miss Vivian Ochoa.
Oh, see, can you see by brought ships and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With the season coming to a close and only a few weeks left here in Washington State for football at all levels, tonight an important game for the Toppenish Wildcats and an opportunity for the Naches Valley Rangers to make a statement here tonight and come out with an upset win. Hello everybody, I am Antonio Tony D. Dominguez, and we have a contest insight for you here tonight. Of course, the Naches Valley Rangers sitting in third place in the SCAC West, hoping to improve upon that record by trying to come out with an upset win here tonight. Of course, that team of the Toppenish Wildcats with the high explosive offense going to be tough for the Valley Rangers to overcome more than likely, but we are going to see what this contest is going to be about. You bet both teams are going to bring the defense, they're going to bring the physicality, and we're going to see what the end of the game is going to be like. And you bet one of these teams is going to have to come out with a W. So the last time the Wildcats played was last week over at LaSalle at Marquette Stadium. What a historic stadium that is over there. And of course, with the over the years, the LaSalle Lightning having success at their football program. Unfortunately, this year more of a rebuild year, hoping to build off that experience that they've gained so far this season. Unfortunately, not a very good record as they are below 500 so far. They took on the LaSalle Lightning over there at Marquette Stadium and walked away with a 40-0 win, primarily done through the ground. Jose Torres in his 140-plus rushing yards and a touchdown. And, of course, a little bit of passing from Joshua Perez. Not the high explosive passing game that you would kind of expect from Perez at this point, but nonetheless, a couple touchdowns from him thrown and a little over 200 passing yards in that contest. So this is going to be a game to watch. And now, over for the Naches Valley Rangers. Well, the last time they were in battle was, of course, the same time last week. And, of course, they took on the Wapato Wolves at home, and they came out with a shutout win, 73-0. So the Naches Valley Rangers offense definitely capable of getting on a roll. The only other losses this season come by the way of the Sela Vikings, who plays at the 2A level in the CWAC, losing 20-13 week 2 of this high school football season. And then their next loss over with Zilla, as Zilla was able to handily defeat them 42-7 when the Naches Valley Rangers took a visit over at the Zilla Leopards playground or football field, whatever you want. We can call it whatever. People having fun. And we're glad that things are steadily getting back to a little bit of normal, although I think people might have different arguments on how that will actually is. or is going to be.
For the Wildcats.
But nonetheless, high school football still continuing. Friday night lights. Last time we were here, it was a Saturday afternoon game. Good to be back underneath the lights in this brand new stadium. Only their third home game this season. Fourth home game this season, I should say. And coming out with a very impressive inaugural season in this new stadium. So here we go. The kicker for the Wildcats. Gonna get his kick underway. Brandon Flores, the young freshman, and kicked it. A little bit of a squib kick there. Taken and picked up by the Naches Valley Rangers, and Julian Rodriguez gets to the 40-yard line, 41, and that ball may have come out, but I believe the officials are going to run them down. Let's see what the official call is. And
Number 35, Angelo Simmenthal. First and 10.
so it looks like the Naches Valley Rangers will hang on to that ball. It's going to give them an opportunity to open up this game this first quarter on their first drive. Of course, starting quarterback here for the Naches Valley Rangers, Grant Osborne, number 11. He'll be the head signal caller here for tonight's game. First down and 10. Inside run, and trying to get to that running back, stuffed and met at the line. Maybe a gain of a yard there.
Ball carried by number 20,
Mitchell Helger.
Yards. Second down and 8.
With a yard gain, 2 yards actually. Looks like they moved the chains just enough. 2 is better than 1, any way you think about it. You want 2 donuts, you want 2 cheeseburgers, 2 is always better. Osborne trying to keep it, trying to find a hole, making it the Wildcat defense right there to meet him and making a play on that. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage, second down and about 11 to go.
Tackled by number 67.
You can see the Wildcat defense just swarming. Couldn't find any space to go. Wonderful job there by the up front line of the Toppenish Wildcats, able to show some pressure and just finding no room there for Osborne to go. Osborne, the double tight end, receiver either side, running back Osborne keeping it, looking to pass. Go! Just and down he goes. What a sack there! Rock out clock. Elon Cripps, excuse me, right there with a great one.
For the Wildcats, Anthony Ozuna.
It looks like it was Ozuna again. Oh, those numbers kind of hard to read from up here. But what a magnificent defensive stand there to open up this contest for the Wildcats. Fourth down and long, and of course going to be punted away.
23 yards to go.
And Garen Guler punting this one away. Of course, Jason Grant, return man, are going to let that one just bounce. Leave it dead, and the Wildcats will get a start over at their own 31-yard line. Early on here, 9 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in this first quarter. So a little statistics update. Jason Grant needs about 20 yards or so in order to get the all-time career receiving yard record here at Toppenish High School. Grant in motion. Perez deciding to keep it and has to get out of the pocket. Running over and goes to the sideline and perhaps keeps it at the yard line, at this line of scrimmage, and he does. There is the Naches Valley Rangers.
For Joshua Perez, second down, 11.
Not getting any room there to make a play with his feet. Brings up second down at about 11. The pistol, 3 receiver sets over to his left. Shane Rivera over on the right. And off and toward Torres, runs through that hole and gets a gain of about 4 yards on there. Jose Torres with his 100-yard game last week, continuing to hit the hole as hard as he can and able to get some yards on that one. Got to admire the toughness of Timmy Torres. Just capable of making so many plays when he gets that ball in his hand from the running back position. A little bit shifty, but definitely a little bit powerful too. And showing it right there with his toughness, getting 4 yards. Perez looking, swings it over, pass over to Grant. Trying to make a play. Grant grabbed by the feet, trying to get to the line of scrimmage and
Reception by
barely able to get there.
number 10, Jason Grant.
And that's going to be a gain of maybe 1 yard. So -1 there. So far, the passing game not very effective here in this first series for the Wildcats. Going to force them to punt. Give credit to the Naches Valley Rangers coming out here prepared, not being scared of this high-powered offense that the Toppenish Wildcats are capable of unleashing at any point. Let's see if they can continue doing that throughout the remainder of the game.
Punters, number 7, Joshua
Perez getting some protection, punt, and that one's going to be short and shanked. Not necessarily the best punt. It's going to be out of bounds at the 49-yard line of the Wildcats. So good field position for the Naches Valley Rangers here on the next drive. Of course, the Toppenish Wildcats ranked number 3 in the RPI by the WIAA. Of course, if you check other rankings, either the AP, local AP, Max Preps, of course, rankings vary by those sites, but the official ones that are going to be taken into consideration are the WIAA RPI rankings, and that's for all levels, 4A through 1B. Olsen looking, and ball almost picked off there. What a nice play by Joshua Luna.
Pass broken up by linebacker Joshua Luna. Second 10.
Second down and 10 coming. First pass attempt there for Grant Osborne. Osborne going an empty set, receivers all over the field. In the shotgun. Quick over to the right. It drops that ball and perhaps can't get focused. There as Noah Robles just off his hands, incomplete. It's going to bring down 3rd down and 10. It's one thing you got to keep out for the Wildcats. They're able to get fresh bodies in and out. And you bet when it comes to playoff time, that's going to be really important. You want to have guys out there that have the experience and have the ability to do their job. So Osborne again in an empty set. Look for you in the slant. Turns around. Going to try to launch a long ball. And that is caught. And to the house. 49-yard pass, but I believe a flag is going to be charged. It's going to be offensive pass interference, as you can clearly see the push-off right there at around the 20-yard line. So that one's going to come back. Let's make it official as the referee's down on the field. Make sure that call is going to be correct. From up here in the booth, you clearly saw it. There as Julian Rodriguez trying to get some separation. Unfortunately, just pushed off, extended that arm. Able to beat the corner, Villanueva, who's in coverage. But, of course, just an unfair advantage when you just push off like that. Naches Valley Rangers going to need to capitalize on opportunities like that. And so it's going to bring down 3rd down and 15 approximately. So it's going to be 3rd down and long again. So you bet that the Naches Valley Rangers are going to try again to throw another long ball. This time it's not an empty set. Doubles both ways, and of course the running back right behind him in a pistol-like formation. Hands it off to the running back. And gets men at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. There as number 32, Thane Denny, getting a carry. Unfortunately, no yards. This might be one of those defensive games where not a lot of points are scored. Let's see how the rest of this quarter continues.
By the Wildcats.
And so there was a penalty committed away from the ball. Wildcats are going to decline it. It's going to bring down 4th down and 15. Here is Guler able to get the punt off. And Jason Grant going to decide to return it, and he's going to be met by some Rangers at the 35-yard line. A flag on the play, though. See what the referee is, probably an illegal block. So that's either going to take the Wildcats back 10 yards or so. Give them, we'll see what the official call. Block in the back, and of course.
It's an illegal block in the back against the Wildcats. Backs them up 10 yards.
10-yard penalty on there is going to take them right inside the 25-yard line or so. Wildcats not finding any consistency in the first series of this quarter of this game. Joshua Perez looking a little unsettled. Of course, early on here in this game, still first quarter. More than enough time to go.
For the Wildcats at their own 26.
So back underway. Perez with Torres right behind him. Hands it off to Torres. Getting up the middle, finds a good burst of speed. Gain of about 7 yards.
To the 33-yard line. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
So here we go again. Adrian Villanueva in as a secondary running back. Jason Grant goes in motion. Perez keeps it, rolling out over his right. And he's going to be brought down out of bounds.
Keeper.
A little close.
Gain of about 2 yards.
So 2-yard gain. Joshua Perez on that scramble is going to bring down 2nd down and 1. Joshua Perez, of course, capable of making plays on his feet, getting in, scrambling out of the pocket. Of course, his bigger strength right now is his ability to pass the ball, sling it all the way across the field. And I think that's what the coaches want to see from him a little bit more consistently instead of having a flush out of the pocket. The pistol. Perez receives the snap to Torres, brings it out, left side, getting in a block, and he's getting all the way to the 47-yard line.
Around the left
Gain of about 12 yards.
for the Wildcats. First down at their own 46-yard line.
So the Wildcats get a fresh set of downs. Moving the ball a little bit better here in this second series for the Wildcats on offense. Adrian Villanueva moves in motion. Swing pass out to the right end, being met by the Naches Valley defense. Good tackle there in the backfield by Jesse Mange. And if you look at that again, that play wasn't really off to a great start to begin with, as they miss a block on the incoming tackler, able to find his way home, and that play was just blown up. Joshua Perez maybe should have waited a second and then just threw that ball right into the ground and not lose 5 yards, which The way this game is going, you want to capitalize on as many offensive possessions as you can. Perez again in the shotgun, dropping back. Swings it over. Torres open underneath and gaining 6 yards on that reception.
Gain about 6. 3rd down and 9.
Torres showing his versatility there, able to catch the pass from the backfield. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9, something that you rarely see from the Wildcats. And you bet this is a test, no matter any way you think it. Especially with that big contest coming up next week versus the Zilla Leopards that will more than likely determine who goes to the SCAC championship game in a matter of weeks. Perez dropping back, throws a long ball, and ball is intercepted.
Pass interception, number 3, Noah Robles.
Robles making a defensive play on that ball, but let's take a look back at that with Josh Perez a little late with that throw, throwing it into double coverage, and Jason Krant trying to go up and make a play, but double covered, really tough when that happens. And right there, Robles able to snatch that one away. And first turnover here for the Naches Valley Rangers, making some plays on defense. And you bet the Wildcats are going to need to regroup and rethink and come back from that mistake. Interception there by Perez.
Flag on the play.
And a flag, and it's going to be against the Rangers. False start. And that's something that you bet the Naches Valley Rangers do not want to commit. Again, mistakes on either side of the balls and penalties can be a killer.
1st down, 15.
So Grant Osborne come out, get the offensive started again. Hands it off. Over to the left side, right side, and being met there by a host of Wildcats. Barely gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 yard.
Gain of a couple.
There as Mitchell Helgert with the rush attempt on that play. It's going to bring down 2nd down and about 3 yards to go. Osborne in the shotgun.
2nd down and long.
3 steps. Steps up. Osborne going for it all. And oh no! Almost had the ball in his hands, but a flag being thrown. To who this is going to be against. Could be against the Wildcats. So let's see what the official call is going to be. And defensive pass interference this time on the Wildcats. And so they're definitely going to get a fresh set of downs. Referee's going to measure this one out correctly. Should give him a 1st down. Maybe just about. Really hard to tell. So it's going to bring 2nd down and short. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with the high school game, of course in college and in the pros, spot fouls usually called point of pass interference at the high school levels. In the state of Washington, of course, you commit a pass interference. You're done. And as Osborne keeps it himself, and once again met by that stout Wildcat defense. Going to bring 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 1.
Osborne just not able to find any room there with his feet. trying to get his team into this. Third down coming up. Maybe you start thinking back, if the Wildcats are able to hold the Naches Valley Rangers here defensively, that pass interference play may have been big. And looks like Wildcats are going to be caught off sides. And that's going to give them a fresh set of downs for the Naches Valley Rangers. Very rarely do you see the Wildcats not have a score in the first quarter. And coming into this game, they knew this was going to be a tough matchup. And currently, committing some un-Wildcat-like mistakes. Swing pass over to the left. And caught. Osborne to Xander Hires.
10 yards, and that's the first down for the Rangers.
10-yard pass and completion. First completion there for Grant Osborne. Moves the ball, gives him another fresh set of downs. Osborne being met by pressure, able to get out. Tries to find an open receiver and just overthrew Xander Hires. Missed opportunity there. Wildcats did a nice job sending some pressure up the middle. Able to break through that line and able to meet Osborne in the backfield. Forced him over to his right and forcing him to throw on the run. Just a little out of reach for his receiver. Incomplete pass. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. And Matt, backfield action and shoelace tackle there. Gain of 1. Noah Robles.
2 yards.
The rushing attempt there.
Third down and 8.
Third down and long, 8 yards to be exact. Wildcats need to get their defense off the field. They've been out there quite a while, as this has been an extended offensive drive for the Naches Valley Rangers, considering that PI and, of course, the false start. Let's get another fresh set of downs. Wildcats looking to hold on this possession. Osborne in the pocket, doesn't find anybody open, trying to run, trying to find somebody. Oh no, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 4 yards.
Quarterback sack all the way back to the 40.
So that's one thing I think Grant Osborne was expecting somebody to come open. Unfortunately, the Wildcats defense, their defensive backs, able to hold on to their assignments and make sure that nothing special happened on that possession. So it brings out the punting unit. Garen Guler.
Punt formation.
Of course, Jason Grant back to receive this punt. High arching punt. Takes it in, and again, great tackling by the Naches Valley defense. Special teams return there. It's Ty Moore making sure Jason Grant didn't go anywhere.
Wildcats first and 10 at the
16 seconds remaining, so we're probably going to run one more play, and then we're going to go to break. Here in this ever so important contest, especially for the Toppenish Wildcats, as next week another big game, but this time they need to focus here as they have no score yet here in this opening quarter. First down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Torres finds a hole, cutting it up, and able to make it all the way out to the 24-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 8 yards for Torres. After one quarter, folks, scoreless. Defense showing up here in the first half. Both teams. Who's going to win it? Who's going to get the first score? We'll be back here on the THS Digital Media Network. Welcome back here on the THS Digital Media Network. Beginning of the second quarter in a scoreless first quarter. Something rare that you'll see from the Wildcats in their explosive, high-octane offense. Joshua Perez here to get second down ready. Second down and about 2 to go. Perez keeping it. Launches it. Trying to find it, and pass will be incomplete. Intended receiver Jason Grant. So far, 1 reception for no gain. And keep you tuned in, folks. Jason Grant, 20 yards away from the all-time all-yards receiving record for Toppenish High School. We'll keep it posted when that happens. Fortunately, not finding very much ground here tonight.
Third down and 2.
So in the pistol, Perez. She's snap. Torres finds it and gets all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Nice run up the middle to the 38-yard line, and that's another Wildcat. First down.
And there he goes, Torres with another 13-yard run just right up the gut. Wildcats are going to have a defensive game tonight. You bet their running game is going to need to be on par. It needs to be on point. And Torres finds it, running into another defender and brought down after about another gain of 5 yards. Torres very rarely gets caught in the backfield. And showing his burst of speed right up the middle. It's one thing you go out and admire him. When he sees that hole, he hits it with all his might. And every now and again, you do see some power from him.
Second down and 5.
Second down, 5 yards to go. Perez in the shotgun. Again, Torres takes it up, finds a lane, keeps going, and brought down after about a gain of 1 yard.
About a yard gain.
His 6th carry. Right now, leading receiver is Torres. So right now, this Wildcat offense flowing through the running.
Third down.
And a couple of passing, receiving attempts from him as well. Wildcats lining up. Third down. And about 3 yards to go. Torres finding a lane, trying to get to the first down marker, and I think he's going to get awfully close. They're going to say he
got just enough yardage for another Wildcat. First down.
And he got it, Torres. I think that's what the Wildcats' plan is going to be for the rest of the night. As Torres just finding lanes and then bursting with the speed and power that's needed to gain some good yardage. First down and 10. Perez taking a step back. Looking for a receiver, scrambles over to his left. Has to keep it himself and finally brought down after a gain of 1.
Perez with a scramble for a yard gain to the 49.
He's been forced to scramble 3 times here tonight. Not something that you want your quarterback to do. The Wildcats looking to find some answers. Try to keep this offense on the field and get some points.
Second down and 9.
Second down. From the pistol. Torres sees it. Finds an opening, keeps going, and finally brought down
Tim Torres out to the 39-yard line.
after another 8-yard rush.
Yardage for another Wildcat. First down.
And you kind of have to believe now that that's where the course of this game is going to go. It's going to be fought on the ground as that defense just clamping down on the Toppenish Wildcat receivers. The Naches Valley Rangers came here prepared defensively, knowing their assignments, keeping their assignments so far here in this second quarter. New set of downs. Perez. Torres again. Gets it up the middle, just being met. And gains another 4 yards on that carry. His 9th carry of the game.
Gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6.
Torres, of course, having a 140-yard performance over at Marquette Stadium versus the LaSalle Lightning, where, of course, the Wildcats came away with the 40-0 win last week over in Union Gap, Washington. Union Gap, Washington, right near Yakima, Washington. Like literally maybe a couple of feet away when you get to the line. The city line. Adrian Villanueva. The motion. Perez rolling out over his right. Dumps it off. Finds Villanueva. And it's going to be close to a first down. 4-yard completion. Adrian Villanueva. His first reception of the night. It's going to bring down third down and short.
Third down and 1. 1 long yard.
Joshua Perez. Taking a look, dumps it off over to the other side. Nick Cortez. Kipso running through tackles. Oh, and another 9.
Nick Cortez.
That's
Jr.
10-yard reception there.
That's way more than enough yardage for another Wildcat. First down.
Nick Cortez with 7 touchdowns on the season. Kind of a scat back type of position. He's able to run the ball. But right now his primary duties are catching balls out of the backfield and, of course, from the slot position. The secondary complementary weapon to Jason Grant. Perez, pistol again. Toss over to the left side. Torres trying to find a lane. Does. Cuts it up. Going. Can he find the end zone? Dives. Oh, and he's going to be close. Referee's going to mark him out at about the 3-yard line.
With a 26-yard run from the 28. That puts him inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Wildcats first and goal to go.
26-yard run on that play. What a great effort. And he almost got close to the goal line. Had himself a touchdown. And let's see what the Wildcats are going to do. Are they going to feed Torres the ball? They have no reason not to, considering he hasn't even been tackled in the backfield. Wildcats getting their offense set. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the THS Digital Media Network, watching this highly ranked contest. Ever so important for both teams, and it's going to be called. Looks like it might be delay of game, unfortunately, and will it be? And it will be on the Wildcats. That's going to push them back 5 yards. And maybe that's not a bad penalty considering the type of runner you have with Timmy Torres. You're looking to run it. Now you give him a little bit more space for him to make a play. Torres does have some power, but a bit on the smaller side. And judging on the size of the Naches Valley Rangers defense, it may be a little tough trying to give it to your speedy back at the goal line. So in the shotgun set, receivers either side. Grant going in motion. Grant gets it, trying to find a corner and can't find any space. This entire first half, Grant just having difficulty doing anything offensively. No gain on that attempt. So Joshua Perez getting the next set of plays for the Wildcats. 2nd and goal. Wildcats really want to come out with the score here. 5 minutes and change remaining here in the second quarter. Torres finds a hole, trying to get to the goal line. It's going to bring their down and goal.
Back to the 3-yard line. 3rd down goal to go from the 3-yard line.
Another 5-yard rush there for Torres. Back to the 3-yard line, the original point. So Perez getting his team set. Jason Grant going over to the right. Adrian Villanueva and Shane Rivera over on the left. In the pistol, Torres. And oh, that was another delay of game. And Perez just not aware of where the clock was. And that's going to make this 3rd down even tougher.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Another delay of game.
You bet coach is not happy that that one went down. So Wildcats perhaps need to be a little bit more apprehensive here. Keep track of that clock. Snap, quick pass, Cortez. Oh, and another interception. Oh no, and being brought in, they're going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. 2nd turnover for Joshua Perez.
It was picked off.
Threw a little too high for Nick Cortez. Had a chance at it. Unfortunately, when that ball is not placed where you want it to be, that is what can happen. Ball bounces high up into the air, and the Naches Valley Rangers right there in the area to meet that ball and get that turnover. 2nd interception here tonight for the Naches Valley Rangers. And the Wildcats seeming to get back on track with their offense here in the last waning minutes of the second quarter. And now with that turnover, look at how the script has turned. They should attempt up the middle. It's going to be no gain on that attempt. Ball carrier there, Thane Denny.
Denny on the carry, no gain.
Wildcats,
2nd down and 10.
an opportunity to score, and at the very least, you wanted to come out with some points. And just nothing happening there. Was not a bad play. Cortez was open, but Perez just not able to put that pinpoint accuracy that needed to be made on that play, and another reception there, gain of about 4 yards. Second completion of the night for Brad Osborne.
Pass complete. Number 4, Julian Rodriguez.
Julian Rodriguez.
Gain of about 3. Third down and 7.
So third down and about 6 to go. See if the Wildcats can make a defensive stand here and get another opportunity on offense and try to get some points on the board before half. Osborne taking a look around, being met by pressure, dumps it off and open underneath. Ty Moore. Ty Moore with the 14-yard reception.
Complete to number 7, Ty Moore.
Third down, first down, and 10 after that pass completed. Osborne being met by pressure and able to dump it off and find the underneath route in the flats with Ty Moore. So referees talking, seeing if the right ball placement is there, and I believe they have everything straightened out now. Second down, first down and 10. Looking to pass in the backfield, throws a long ball. And another pass interference call. 15 yards and another new set of downs. 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Give credit to the Naches Valley offense. Taking advantage of mistakes.
Defensive interference.
And they get a new set of downs and another 10 yards. It's going to bring that ball out to the 30-yard line, about the 34-yard line. Looks like it's going to be. Nothing you could say is the Wildcats do not want to lose this game. Depending on how the rest of the games go, which there's only a couple more weeks left after this for the regular season. Of course, crossover play with the east side of the conference of the SCAC still to be played. Osborne, another long ball, trying to make a play there.
Pass incomplete.
Osborne trying to find Robles again, but nothing there. Good coverage by the Wildcats.
Second down and 10.
Jeremiah Zuniga making the necessary play. Second down, minute 59 left. Wildcats not out of the realm of a possibility of getting back on offense. They're going to need a defensive stop, however. Takes the snap. Underneath pass in immediately met by some force. Freddy Robledo.
Complete and tackle on the play, number 44.
Excuse me, 44. Seth Ordaz.
Timeout. Wildcats.
So good use there, stopping the clock. Here's the Wildcats will try to run some 2-minute drill if they can make this next defensive stop on third down. And stick around, folks. Of course, the senior night festivities were conducted earlier before the start of this contest. We're going to read some of them off to you here, as we're going to read as many as we can here before we go to break, and of course as many as we can during the duration of halftime. See what I get held here. First up, Daniel Arredondo, number 83. And first, his supporters are my coaches that believe in us when we were down on game days or practices, and my family for being there. What is he thankful for? I'm thankful for my coaches for being there and pushing us when we needed it. I would also like to be thankful for my family for supporting me and being there all the time. I would also like to thank my friends for making game days fun and practices some days. Close quote. Number 83, Daniel Arredondo. So back to action. Grant Osborne rolling over to his left. And pass is going to be complete. It's going to bring out 4th down, though. Completion of about 7 yards. So it looks like timeout for the Naches Valley Rangers as they're going to decide what they want to do. It's going to be some quite extraordinary things here tonight. So let's take a look at another senior night festivity, another name here. This time, part of your digital media team, Guadalupe Diaz. And I would like to thank my friends and family for supporting me and always being there for when I need it. My favorite memory with THS Media, my favorite memory is probably getting to interview all the new students who joined the team this year and getting to know them all. That is THS Digital Media member Guadalupe Diaz. So back to game action, 4th down. This is going to be big. Pretty much if the Naches Valley Rangers can get this 1st down, they pretty much eliminate any further threat on offense from the Wildcats. So it's going to be pretty big for them if they can get this immediately. And they make the 1st down, and that's going to probably end the half. 3-yard completion to Xander Ayers. And the Valley Rangers are going to continue. 2-minute offense. Osborne finding him again out in the flats. Missed tackle and finally brought down there by the safety.
Pass is complete for about a 12-yard
12-yard gain there. From Garen Guler. 1st down and 10. Minute 13 remaining. Osborne taking a long ball and couldn't find his area, and a defensive interference. It's going to be another set of downs, and that's going to put him inside the 35-yard line. And the Wildcats were hoping not to get onto this part of the field.
Another flag.
And what's going on here? See, as there's another penalty flag thrown after the play. And that one perhaps could be a little bit more dangerous, because if it's an unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards, and boom, they're right inside the red zone. Very bad timing for the Wildcats.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Wildcats.
So that's going to be there. And so this happened after the play. So I believe it's going to be 10 yards and then another 15. And it's not looking good for the Wildcats here at this point. Trying to close out the 1st half, no score. And just nothing going right so far here in this 1st half for the Wildcats. So we're gonna get the 1st down, and let's see what this ball, and like we said, folks, right inside the red zone. And how unfortunate would it be if this were the only score of the night? So a minute remaining. Fresh set of downs. Rangers could still get another set. Wildcats goal. No points. Fires off. Oh! And what's done there? It's intercepted. But there's a flag in the backfield. What's going to happen here? I mean, this could be the change.
But there is yellow laundry on the field, a flag.
What is going to be called? That's unbelievable. What a great play made there by the Wildcat defensive back. Jeremiah Zuniga right there. And it's against the Rangers. And that's going to be declined. And what do you know? What a great way to close out this half. And that's the play that needed to be made to prevent any further Naches threat here in the first half. Give credit there to Jeremiah Zuniga. At first they thought that that penalty may have been assessed on the Wildcats. Ferry Robledo coming in a little hot to the quarterback, but guessing that was fair play. And give credit to Jeremiah Zuniga for staying with the play, the young junior, and making that turnover, getting that interception, and pretty much eliminating any scoring threat from the Naches Valley Rangers. 54 seconds left, and you got to believe, by the way the Wildcats have been playing, maybe running up the middle, but you really just need to go into the locker room and regroup. 2 turnovers in the first half, very little completions. Perez, gunslinger, and Rivera with the catch at midfield. What a pass! 35-yard pass. Oh, Shane Rivera using his size there to his advantage and just high-pointing that ball. So 2-minute drill, Wildcats looking to get some points. But what do you have to lose? Here we go. Perez stepping up in the pocket and brought down. Wildcats need to get to the line again. There's still a chance for a couple more plays. And timeout taken by the Wildcats after that sack. So luckily they still had their last timeout. But what an incredible play there for the Wildcats. A 29-yard reception from Perez to Rivera. 5 different receivers here tonight. None more than 2 catches. And that'd be Torres, who's been doing most of the offensive work here tonight in the first half. Wildcats looking to hit the home run ball here at this point. 24.8 seconds remaining.
Second down and 12.
Perez in the pocket, rolling over to his right. Isn't finding anybody. It's going to go out of bounds. 18 seconds remaining. 3rd down.
Perez on the keeper just across midfield at the Naches 48-yard line. 3rd down and 6.
So 3rd down and 6. Trying to close this first half out. We're scoreless. Defensive battle, penalties, and turnovers is the story of the first half. Perez chucking one up and incomplete, intended for Jason Grant. Grant with only 1 reception for no gain. 20 yards away from the all-time receiving yards record here for Toppenish High School. And very difficult it is for Grant here tonight. So 4th down, 13.4 seconds remaining. I think you want to take your time, take the snap, run around a little bit, see if one of your receivers can break open, and perhaps make a play to close out this first half. And another timeout called.
Timeout Wildcats.
Wildcats taking timeout. Let's take another read of the senior night festivities. Here earlier tonight, another digital media member, of course, our program director here tonight, Mario Trujillo. He would like to thank my parents for always putting up with me and for always pushing me to reach greatness, as well as the teachers at THS for getting me interested in my hobbies. My favorite media memory is after the game at Quincy this season, there was a pizza conflict, and at the end of the night, everyone had their own pizza. What do you know? Sometimes those school trips can really give you some memories. Everyone has them. Get out there, enjoy. So 3rd down. More than likely the final play of the game, 13 seconds remaining. Freddy Robledo running in motion. Just going to take a very long pause and just trying to end the game essentially now, or end the first half now, and that's the end of the first half. No score, ladies and gentlemen. No score to speak of. Stats, very little, other than the rushing attempts by Timmy Torres for the Toppenish Wildcats. It's going to be a defensive game, and you bet it's going to be one that's going to be tough, grounded out. Nothing but defense, nothing but physicality here tonight. Well, folks, normally we'd go to a break, but this is senior night for a whole host of Wildcats, both on the cheer team, on the football team, and, of course, the band, and, of course, your THS digital media members who helped produce this game, our cameraman, our program director, graphics, everybody up here. What a great time here for them and enjoying their final year. At least they got to enjoy their final high school year in a little bit more normal than the last couple of months, or the last 12 months or so. Moving on to another one, this time for the cheerleaders. Cheerleaders, of course. First one, Leslie Pignon, who she would like to thank. I would like to thank my entire family for encouraging and supporting me to do what made me happiest. I love all of you. You have no idea how much you all mean to me. I would also like to thank Kara and the cheer squad for all the new memories and support. Her favorite memory, my favorite memory from my senior year, is going to have to be the 4th of July when my friends and coworkers decided to show up to my house and then almost accidentally, quote, lit my neighborhood on fire. Luckily they didn't. That would have been big time. LOL moment. That is Leslie Pignon, senior cheerleader. Another cheerleader, Alyssa Velasquez. Who she would like to thank? I would first off like to thank my amazing best friends that I've also had the pleasure of calling my mother and my sister, Yvette, for always being there for me and always support me in anything I've always wanted to do and always pushing me to be the better version of myself and never letting me quit. Secondly, I would like to thank my amazing family for always being as supportive as anyone could possibly imagine and always trying to make the inevitable happen. Lastly, thank you to all my friends, old and new, for making this so far an unforgettable senior year. I love you all. Favorite memory? Oh, where to start? One of my favorite memories so far has been when we went to camp. We had a curfew and a few girls stayed up a little longer, and we ended up getting caught by Kara, even though we thought we were quiet. There has been more, but I was told to make it short and sweet. Senior cheerleader, Alyssa Velasquez. Next senior cheerleader, Janly Zuniga. I'd like to thank my mom for my biggest supporter and pushing me to do better in all I do, and my team members who are never bored. They are always fun to be around with, and, of course, Coach Kara. Favorite memory at cheer camp when we were all exhausted but still managed to work hard as a team. We ended up getting really close with each other in the process. Senior cheerleader, Janly Zuniga. Another senior cheerleader, Milana Leos.
57, Noel
I would like to
Torres.
thank my coach Kara for pushing
Number
our team and to be
60,
the best we can be
Nathan
on and off the
Magana.
sidelines, my cheer sisters for
Number
being there through thick
61,
and thin, and my family for
Gideon
always
Palomino.
supporting me. Favorite memory,
Number
getting to
63,
know the other girls
Gabriel
throughout the past few
Pedroza.
months and creating bonds with each
Number
one
64,
of them.
Elijah Perez.
Milana Leos,
Number
senior
73, Omar
cheerleader.
Mendoza, and their head coaches.
Fabiola Ramirez, another senior cheerleader. I would like to
Coach
thank my
Rivera
friends and family for
and
always
Coach
being
Buck.
here for me. Favorite memory, when we went to camp, we would annoy Kara in the room, and
Now
she would
next,
always call for team
please help me
meetings.
introduce your top
Senior
contributors.
cheerleader, Fabiola
B
Ramirez.
squad, team with
Another
record
senior,
of 4
Viviana
wins
Ochoa.
and 2 losses, playing
I
tomorrow
would like to thank my
versus
family
the
for
Saints,
supporting and my friends
who have
for
a
being
record
by
of
my
1 win
side.
and 5
Favorite
losses.
memory, our team meeting
For the
after we won the
opportunity for a
banana
playoff
at
berth.
camp. I don't
This
know what
game
kind of
will
banana
take
that
place
is, but I
also
hope
at
it
Granger High
tasted
School
good.
At 11 a.m.
Can never get
Hope
enough
to see you there.
daily servings of fruit.
So this is the
That is senior Vivian
squad
Ochoa.
team. Let me introduce these for you.
Next,
Number 4,
senior
Christian
cheerleader
Mencias.
Ariana Cervantes, senior cheerleader. I would like to thank. I would like to thank my
Joaquin
mother for always pushing me
Quezada.
to do my best and be my best. I don't know what I would do
Number
without
7,
you.
Elijah
I would also like to thank my
Perez.
amazing coach Kara for being there for
Number
me
8,
and for always
CJ
pushing me to do my
Bliss.
best in school and cheer and for always yelling
Number
at me
9,
about my jumps. I would also like to thank my
Clark.
team for being such an amazing team. I love every single one of
Number
you.
10,
Thank you for such a fun
Isaac
football season.
Corpus.
Favorite memory. Favorite memory is when Leslie got hit on
Number
the forehead
16,
by
Moses
Miranda's foot, and we watched the
Mendoza.
big bump grow on her head from the hit.
Number
I
18,
hope she got
Isaiah
some services
Sanchez.
there, some medical
Number
attention after
19,
that one.
Jaden
Ariana Cervantes, senior
Gattaca.
cheerleader. And finally,
Number
for the
24,
cheerleaders,
Jacoby
Isabella
Lee.
Amarias.
Number
I'd like to
26,
thank my family for supporting me and my
Zara
teammates, and last but not
Salinas.
least, my coach Kara for pushing us to do the best we can.
Number
Favorite memory,
29,
hanging out with my
Israel
teammates
Diaz.
and making bonds with them.
Number 34,
Love you,
Jarvis
baddies. That
Peters.
is senior cheerleader Isabella Amarias.
Number 40,
A lot
Nathan
more
Magana.
of them to go.
number 44,
And so,
David Lopez.
I mean, you got to thank everybody here, of course.
Number 46, Anthony
It is sports
Saldivar.
medicine time.
Number 49,
Junisa
Anthony
Ortega, of
Guzman.
course, part of the athletic training
Number
program here
53,
with Mr. Garrett
Talon
Simpson.
Hernandez.
Everybody's been a part of
Jalen
it.
Hernandez.
Everything
Number
because what are the
54,
memories? Everything because I made some new friends throughout it
Gabriel
all and learned a lot about
Valencia.
sports med. That is Junisa
I got
Ortega
another 54,
with the
Eagle
athletic
Clark.
training crew. Another sports med, Maria Cervantes.
55,
Thankful for. I would like to thank my
J.L.
parents and
Jury.
everyone who has supported me throughout
Number
my senior year,
59,
and you guys are
Damian
truly the
Barajas.
best, and I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you.
Number
And favorite
65,
memory, my favorite
Gene
sportsman
Carlo
memory is
Acala.
the warning experience or the
Number 67,
bargaining
Ocean
experience,
Greg.
the learning experience
Number
when
80,
someone gets hurt.
Isaiah Rios.
Oh, you really want to keep players
Number
healthy. I'll say
82,
that. That is
Leo
senior Maria
Payne.
Cervantes.
And number 80,
Oh,
Keith
a lot of
Leslie.
football seniors
Last
as
but
well.
not least, Anthony
Let's see how much more we
Travis,
can
number
get.
6.
Brian Cruz, number 25. I would like to give thanks first and foremost to
Coached
God
by
for
Eric
giving me the
Johnson
opportunity to
and
play and be
Mr.
here
Nick
tonight and on a
Salinas.
very special night with friends and
How about a
family
big
and the
round of
Toppenish
applause
community
for these good kids?
for supporting
They've
our
been working
program.
hard.
I would also like to give a huge thank you to my family, especially my parents, in dealing with me for the past 18 years. Huge shout out to the coaches and the team for making me feel like family. Favorite memory was when the first home game. I've never experienced anything like it, and I'm grateful for my team for having my back. That's senior number 25, Brian Cruz. All right, so we'll take a break here, folks. More senior readings throughout the majority of the game. Be back here on the THS Digital Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked to announce that there is 5 minutes left. You have 5 minutes to purchase your 50-50 raffle tickets. They're $1 a piece, or you get $6 or 6 tickets for $5. And they're down by the concession stand, so without delay, get down and get in line for a 50-50 raffle drawing ticket.
welcome back here to the THS Digital Media Network. Halftime, we are scoreless after 2 quarters of play. And interesting statistics in the first half. Wildcats doing really well on the ground as Timmy Torres, 95 yards all to himself on 11 carries. Able to help the Wildcats move the football down on the ground. However, the turnovers, something rare for the Toppenish Wildcats, and Joshua Perez, only 1 interception coming into this game, and now he can add 2 interceptions here tonight, and you can definitely have some blame on that Naches Valley defense. 2 interceptions from that defensive backfield of the Valley Rangers. Besides that, so 2 interceptions there for Joshua Perez, and a little under 40 yards passing, something rare that you'll see here for the Toppenish Wildcats. And on the other side, offensively, for the Naches Valley Rangers, not so much better either. Only a little under 40 passing yards as well for number 11, Grant Osborne, and the Naches Valley Rangers. And there's not a single running back so far that has more than 2 carries and that has more than 5 yards overall. And then on the receiving side, of course, 2 receptions, and then a reception each for their 4 receivers that have a catch here tonight. Again, none with more than 2. So it has been a very, very egregious and very slow offense for the Naches Valley Rangers here tonight versus this Toppenish Wildcats defense, who, of course, is just as stout when it comes to that. So which team is going to come out of this one with a win? Someone has to come out with the win. This is high school. If we go to overtime, it's, of course, overtime rules. And we follow the college model. So this could be a very interesting finish. Of course, a lot on the line for both of these teams. If the Wildcats were to lose here tonight, it would be very, very difficult for them to win the SCAC West, considering Zilla is still to come next week. And then for the Naches Valley Rangers, well, if they're able to get an upset win here over the number 3 ranked in the WIAA RPI rankings, Toppenish Wildcats, well, this will look good for them and might even have a shot at that 2nd spot. 3 teams go to state. The SCAC 1A gets 3 state berths. So obviously the top 2 teams of each division that finishes atop their conference in first place will get an automatic bid. And then, of course, the 2nd place teams will play each other in a crossover game. And the winner of that game earns the 3rd and final berth for the SCAC for state. Of course, state going to be organized depending on the regional action, depending on where the teams, the majority of the state teams are located at. One of the nice things, and I think that's one of the better moves that the WIA has made, is changing where playoffs are held. Before, a few years ago, where they were being held all at the Tacoma Dome, only in the last couple of years did they start loosening those rules and really putting playoffs in the vicinity of where the majority of teams are playing, which, depending on which level, I mean, could be at one corner of Washington, could be in the center, could be way on the other side by Spokane. So I really like that. And here we go. 2nd half. Can the Wildcats get back on track? And Adrian Villanueva gets it started, being stopped at about the 28-yard line. So the Wildcats not having a lot of trouble running the ball. It's passing the ball that has really been their Achilles heel in the first half. Joshua Perez just not on target tonight. And also 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions committed by Perez. He needs to clean that up, keep the ball safe, keep the ball in his hands, and get it to his receivers when he has an opportunity to do that. Again, Torres starting this off, finds a lane, and gets 13 yards to start it.
The run of about 9 yards.
Excuse me, 9 yards. Looks like it may have been a little further from here. But Torres just saying, feed me more.
And with that, it's another Wildcat.
So 10 yards, let's make a correction. And with that carry, over 100 yards goes Timmy Torres. And by the way this game is turning out, they're going to have to lean on him the rest of the night. keep the ball in his hands. Torres trying to escape, and for the first time tonight, met in the backfield. Loss of 5 yards. 4 yards. Still keeps Torres over 100 yards. I think the Naches Valley Rangers are kind of anticipating that Torres might be the majority of the offense going down the stretch. Perez running over to his left, trying to find somebody, takes off himself and out of bounds after a gain of about 2.
Josh Perez with the keeper out to the 35-yard line. Third down at about 13.
So third down coming up. Naches Valley Rangers defense playing very well here tonight, and obviously with the way they've been able to by the way they've been able to hold this offensive team of the Wildcats to 0 points in the first half. All credit to them. Quick swing pass over to the right. Grant breaks through, breaking some tackles, making it through, and tackled inside the 40-yard line. 27-yard reception. Seven yards on that completion, and
that's a Wildcat first down inside Naches territory at the 38-yard line.
38-yard line here, the Wildcats. Torres getting the pitch over to the left side, trying to find a lane. Runs through it, runs some burst. 4-yard gain on that one.
About the 34-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain, second down and 6.
So Torres providing some good relief there. Naches Valley defense, big up front. Big, but unfortunately not as agile and as fast as Torres. So able to find some angles and create some plays when the ball is in his hands. Look at that. Jumping through, finding a lane, getting into the outside, getting in, finally tackled out of bounds at around the 16-yard line.
Pulled out of bounds inside the 20.
And that's going to be a 17-yard run.
Another Wildcat first down.
What a game Timmy Torres is having. Over 100 yards now. That on his 15th carry of the night. Torres again to the middle. And stopped after a gain of 2. Torres, of course, the competitor that he is, during practice, mentioned to his teammates and his coaches, "Give me the ball, coach. Give me the ball." He wants to get all those yards. Of course, traditionally, the Toppenish Wildcats known for their running ability. And all the way back to the championship team from the late 80s. Timmy Torres following in the footsteps of some Wildcat greats. His rushing ability, Perez through, and what a play there. Reception made for about a yard. 2-yard gain possibly. They're going to give it to him. Completion. Perez was being brought down. Would have been sacked in the backfield. But able to find Cortez. Unfortunately not able to have some space to make a play. But either way, third down and about 7 yards to go. In the shotgun, Perez, Timmy Torres right on the left side of his hip. Grant sees it, little low, making a play, goes to the end zone. Touchdown! 15-yard reception and touchdown. And the first passing touchdown of the evening and the first offensive score here for either team. Wildcats with a great execution on that play. And give credit to the blockers out there. They knew exactly what to do. They knew exactly where to put their hands and where to position their body in order not to draw a flag. Give credit to those players out there. Point after is up and good.
And that kick is good.
As the kick is good there by Brandon Flores, the young freshman. 7-0, 7:50 remaining. First score of the night here in the second half. 7-0, Wildcats leading here in this ever so important game. We'll be back here on the THS Digital Media Network.
A career receiving yards. So congratulations to Jason.
And welcome back here on the THS Digital Media Network. On that last possession with the touchdown, of course, officially, Jason Grant breaking the all-time receiving yards record for Toppenish High School. Something rare and something that may never happen again. And of course, he also has now officially 14 touchdowns on the season. What a player he is. And you got to bet there's going to be some D1 colleges looking at this young man, able to provide a spark in so many areas of the field. An athlete he is, and an athlete he will continue to be if he so chooses to well into his college years. Brandon Flores getting us underway. Scoop kick. Oh, almost losing it there. Decides immediately to drop down to the ground. There, number 45, Jacob Anderson. You can bet he did not want to deal with that one. So out comes the Naches Valley offense. And we did a little statistics. Overall, Naches Valley over total game yards on offense, less than 30 yards. So how did they get back into the field so deep? We'll count on the 50 penalty yards committed by the Wildcats, giving them opportunities to get down to the field. Rushed inside and being met by a host of Wildcats. There, Mitchell Helgert with no gain again.
Mitchell Helgert.
3 yards on 3 carries for Helgert.
Second down and 10.
Grant Osborne struggling on the air, through the air I should say, and also on the ground. He's run it a couple of times and has passed it over the field. Again, less than 40 yards on offense in the first half. Osborne able to complete that one for a 40-yard gain.
Reception by number
3 to Robles. His first reception of the night.
4 yards. Third down and 6.
So one more time. It's going to be third down and about 7 to go. Osborne, clean pocket, deep shot. Oh, and almost there.
Incomplete.
Pass intended for Garen Guler. Had a step or two on Villanueva. But that ball just a little out of the reach of Garen Guler. Nice attempt there by Osborne. Fortunately, that one fell incomplete. So fourth down coming up.
Punter, number 5, Garen Guler.
Guler gets that one off, and this one's going to be punted towards the sideline, and Grant decides to return it. Maybe kind of dangerous.
Jason again with the return on
Tackled
the
down at the 35-yard line.
Wildcat 35 at the 35, 1st and 10.
So the Wildcat offense comes back onto the field. Of course, they opened up this half with the drive straight down to the red zone and able to punch it in with a passing touchdown from Perez to Grant. First touchdown of the game for either team. And the 14th touchdown of the season for Jason Grant. Perez dumps it out over Torres, trying to hang on to it, does. Keeping it tight. And passing.
To Timmy Torres.
So Torres loses 5 yards on that reception.
Second down and 15.
5:54 remaining here in the third quarter. Perez hands it out Torres and being met in the backfield again. And another loss, this time on the ground, and another 5.
Torres tackled on the play, number 20, Mitchell.
Right when you think this Wildcat offense was getting back online, hiccups and great defensive plays by the Naches Valley Rangers. It's going to create a 3rd down and a mile situation, so they need to get almost to midfield at the 45-yard line to get this first down. Perez. And that ball is going to fall incomplete. Whereas Adrian Villanueva was the intended receiver in their area, fell down unfortunately. So 4th down, and Wildcats are going to punt it away. So again here, Eddie Robledo motioning. Joshua Perez, clean punt, sends that one high. There's a 50-yard line. Try to let that bounce, and it's going to roll dead at around the 46-yard line.
Natchez takes over at their own 46-yard line. 1st and 10.
First down and 10, 47-yard line. 1-yard difference as the referee saw that player touched it just a yard back from where it originally stopped. Osborne checking these reads, nobody open. Has nothing available, able to get through that attempted tackle. Still nothing, still running, and finally runs for about a gain 2 yards on that one. Wildcat offense just with nothing on that one. So 2nd down and about 8 yards to come. 3:59 remaining here in the third quarter. And Osborne finding the more success on their offense through the air, although it hasn't been a lot of it. And it's going to be delay of game on the Valley Rangers. It's going to set them back 5 yards. And in a game this close, again, limiting mistakes and penalty yards, this one's not going to help them very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, after this play, we're going to draw for the 50-50 winner So get your tickets out. We have a nice jackpot to give away.
So here we go, second down and about 13 yards to go. Osborne gets the snap. Long ball again. And I believe that's going to be negated as there's a flag here behind the line of scrimmage as well. So it's not going to matter. But a flag here in the backfield. So let's see what's going to be called. False start first. And defense pass interference. Offsetting.
Does not count.
So I guess everybody got a win-win on that one. It didn't lose any more yardage on the false start.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets out because we have $290 even. If you have ticket number 1494888, you can come up and collect your $290. Again, that ticket number is 1494888.
So there, as the players getting ready, and of course announcing the 50-50 raffle ticket here at the Toppenish Wildcats, the Toppenish community putting together, raising funds for school. Get ready to back to action, so it's still going to remain second down after the offsetting penalties. Ball completed into the hands of Julian Rodriguez. And that's a gain of 14 yards.
Down for Naches at the Wildcat 40-yard line.
It's going to bring down first down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Wildcats. Osborne stepping back. Launches another long ball. And that one is. What's it going to be? They're saying he may have been out of bounds. No call yet. It's going to be a first down, but short of the goal line.
We do have a winner of the 290, Mr. David Lopez.
And that's going to be a 38-yard reception.
Congratulations.
Aaron Gooler making a play. And so in scoring position are the Naches Valley Rangers. Gooler and into the end zone. Grant Osborne, 2-yard run. So with that, puts them within one. Let's see what the extra point holds for the Valley Rangers.
Number 12, Lucas Ross.
Holder is Xander Ayers. Lucas Ross, the kicker. Ever so important here. Extra point. It's going to go up. And good. And things are tied up. 7 apiece. 2:25 remaining in the third quarter. Naches Valley sticking hand to hand, toe to toe with the Wildcat offense and defense. Be back here on the THS Digital Media Network. Welcome back here, THS Digital Media Network, in this close matchup, all tied up again after the run by Grant Osborne, 2-yard touchdown run. And that ties things up again here between these two tough defenses and the explosive Toppenish Wildcat offense. They're going to need to crank up the engine, put some gasoline, put some fire, something here in this upcoming offensive possession. And a nice return there by the Wildcats, met by the Rangers at the 31-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will begin.
Wildcats take over at their own 31-yard line, 32-yard line.
31-yard line, here we go.
First and 10.
Wildcats trying to get back on track. That second drive here in the second half, stalling. The Wild gave the Naches Valley Rangers some great starting field position. The Wildcats hoping to make something work. Torres gets the ball, runs right through the middle. Gain of about 8.
He's out to the 40.
So after about gain of 5 yards, Torres continuing his dominance.
That's a false start penalty against
On
the
the Wildcats, and a false start penalty. Seemed like that flag came relatively late. And the trouble's just continuing for the Wildcats. So that negates that run. He's on first down and long now. And Wildcats need to get back on track. Inside, Torres again finds a hole. Having to fight hard for it.
Timmy Torres out to the
Gets most of it back.
Maybe the 36.
Another 8-yard gain there for him. Wildcats definitely having a lot more success on the ground.
Second down and 7.
Torres getting the ball again, finding some room, sneaking through and gets the first down.
Timmy Torres.
Gain of about 6.
They're moving the chains. Why? Because it's another Wildcat. First down.
So the Wildcats putting it on the ground. Putting the ball through the air has not been very successful here tonight for Joshua Perez and the Toppenish Wildcats. Jason Grant being held so far under 50 yards. Still has a touchdown, but definitely a rare blip in the performance of Jason Grant. But he gets the ball right there, sneaks away, and almost broke away there. 9-yard reception from Perez to Jason Grant.
Second down and 1. Across midfield.
Second down and short. And 30 seconds remaining now. Wildcats will more than likely close out this quarter after this play. Jason Grant with the motion. Quick pass over to Grant again. He takes it, finding some room, gets through a few tackles, and all the way down to the 37-yard line. And another 10-yard reception there from Grant.
At the Naches 37-yard line.
So ball once again, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Wildcats driving down the field, hoping to get another score on the board. We're going to come up on the fourth and final quarter after this, only on the THS Digital Media Network. Tight game. Welcome back, THS Digital Media Network. First down and 10. And Perez heading out to Torres, finding another hole. And what a great night he's having down on the ground.
Timmy Torres, gain of about 6 yards.
6-yard gain on that last carry, his 20th carry.
Second down and
Well over
4.
130 yards. What kind of night can Timmy Torres have? Not the most powerful runner in the world, but definitely able to hit the hole with some speed, put in some moves, and being able to get you the yards that you need. There he goes again. Finds a hole again. Trying to show, stays off his feet. Can he get to the end zone? Torres, and oh, so close. Wow. Look at that.
Torres.
That's going to be a 25-yard gain for Torres. And his night continues.
It's a 31-yard gain for Timmy
And if
Torres.
I were coach, you need to give it to the best player that's producing and giving you yards, and that's going to be Timmy Torres. The last time they were down here in the red zone during the first half, more than enough miscues, you got to trust your running back. You got to put it in his hands and let him punch it in to the end zone. Perez getting his player set. Motion. Hands it off. Grant gets it in his second touchdown of the night. 4-yard rushing touchdown.
Run into the end zone.
2 total touchdowns here tonight for Jason Grant. And that gives more separation and room for the Wildcats. So now the ever-important extra point. Brandon Flores, the young freshman kicker, been very steady so far after the change, after week 2. Finding a more consistent kicker after the first couple of weeks, not going their way. And they brought this young man up, and he gets it up and through.
And the kick is good.
14-7, 4-yard rushing touchdown from Grant. 10:46 remaining here in the 4th and final corner. Take another break. Be back here on the THS Digital Media Network. And welcome back here on the THS Digital Media Network. After that last touchdown, 4-yard rushing touchdown from Jason Grant, his second total touchdown overall. Of course, had one receiving 15-yard touchdown pass from Perez to Grant. 2 total touchdowns and a little over 60 total offensive yards. Of course, a little bit of a slow night here tonight for Jason Grant on the receiving end, but nonetheless, using his power, using every one of his gifted abilities to get some points for the Wildcats. He got all the touchdowns here tonight. Kicker Brandon Flores, the young freshman, trying to get his kickoff team ready.
Julian Rodriguez, Xander Hires back deep.
So they're going to make sure that they're in line. And 10:46 to go. This is going to come down to the last minute, and you got to believe that. Naches Valley Rangers aren't out of this, but they're going to have to get something going on offense here on the next drive. It took a little while to settle down there as the return man, Rodriguez, brings it all the way out to about the 29-yard line. And that's where the Naches Valley Rangers offense will begin once again. Haven't been very effective yardage-wise on the ground besides the one rushing touchdown from quarterback Grant Osborne. And, of course, the receiving touchdown. Or should I say that's the only touchdown for the Naches Valley Rangers. Taking the stats over with the Toppenish Wildcats. Can happen sometimes. So here we go. Osborne. By himself, backfield, slat, and dropped. Incomplete pass there. Ty Moore Wasn't expecting that many players to be in front of his face. That's one thing you got to give credit for the defensive backs of Toppenish. Able to know their assignments. And that time knowing exactly where they were and they needed to be. About to make the hit, but just enough to catch that ball, but unfortunately dropped it. Lost opportunity there by the Naches Valley Rangers. And a great defensive effort there by the Wildcats. Osborne, snap. Tries to dump it off, high pass, and incomplete. There's a penalty on the play. Let's see who's going to be against. Maybe a legal man downfield. We'll see what the official call is going to be. Let's see. Illegal man downfield, and exactly as I saw it up here.
For a illegal man downfield against Naches.
So that's going to give him a penalty right there. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to take him back and make it that much more difficult for the Naches Valley Rangers, who you got to believe from here on out for the rest of the game, they got to value each and every time they possess the football. Osborne, and that one short arms it into the ground, incomplete. Going to bring up 3rd down and long. Wildcat defense making the necessary plays they need to make here on defense. Wildcats just as stout as anybody. 10:19 remaining. Luckily that clock is not running, but you bet the Wildcats are going to continue to put the ball on the ground and put it in Timmy Torres' hands. Already with the $140, close to a $150 in rushing here this evening. Osborne looking to find his receiver over on the out route to the right, and he does. Enough there for an 11-yard completion.
At the 35-yard line. 4th and 4.
Julian Rodriguez with the reception there. His 4th of the night. 43 receiving yards on those 4 receptions. 4th down, they're going for it again. When you're the Naches Valley Rangers, considering how your offense is played, you need to value that football, and you're going to need to get this 1st down in order to stay in this game. Flag, and see what's going to be called. It might be delay of game, and it is, and it's going to be another 5 yards. So what do you do now? It looks like they're going to bring in the punting crew. Unfortunate mistake there by the Naches Valley Rangers. We're in position to at least make an attempt, a good attempt at getting the 1st down, but unfortunately that last penalty really putting you out of reach, and considering there's still some time left, although not as much as you want it to be, this is probably the right move considering you're no longer in the field position that you don't want to be. Guler, his punt. Be a little short, bouncing, and it's going to go out of bounds, and
punt goes out of bounds near the Wildcat 45-yard line at the 44.
Got some senior moments here for you. Be reading them the rest of the night. Dakota Bauer, number 12, a senior. Thank you for my family. They've been there through everything, and they've supported me. I also like to thank my football brothers and my coaches. They taught me so much about life. Favorite memory is when I got left in Pullman at the grocery store. We laughed all the way the whole bus ride home. That is senior Dakota Bauer, number 12. So in the pistol, Joshua Perez. And that one given to Torres.
2 yards. 2nd down and 8.
2-yard gain, and A little slow to get up. And 22 carries so far here tonight. Well over 150 yards now. So second down and about 9 to go. And by himself, Cortez. Is that going to be it? He gets his ankles. Can he get to the end zone? Oh, just short. Just short. But that is going to be a 50-yard pass from Perez to Nick Cortez. And you got to imagine if the Wildcats are able to get this ball into the end zone, it's going to be really, really tough for the Naches Valley Rangers to have an opportunity to tie this up. What do? Timmy Torres is still out there. Of course, Jason Grant has both touchdowns here on the night. 2 total touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Joshua Perez trying to get it in, something in. Yes, a flag thrown out there, encroachment. It's going to put him that much closer to the goal line.
At the 2.5-yard line, Wildcats, first and goal to go.
First and goal from about the 2.65-yard line, you could say. In the pistol, Torres still out there, and Perez. Torres receives the pitch, trying to find an angle. Can he get to the corner? And he gets it. Touchdown, Timmy Torres. On a 2-yard rushing touchdown. And that was a smart design there by the coaching staff, knowing that the Naches Valley Rangers were sort of outmatched considering the speed that Torres provided, trying to get to the edge. And you can see that last little burst come in, able to dive for it and get this ever so important touchdown that the Wildcats needed to try to seal this game away. Kicker, Brandon Flores. Young freshman with the next point attempt, and that one is good.
And again, the kick is good.
8:28 remaining. Wildcats with the 2-possession lead, 21-7. We'll stick it right here, folks. We'll stick with you as we have more senior moments to go through. More senior games. This was senior night. Unfortunately, the 4 festivities happened before we went on air, but guaranteed you there's going to be some video action produced, and that video will be put together and made available to you only here on the THS Digital Media Network and their social media outlets. All right, senior number 27, Eric Alejandre. I would like to thank the coaching staff and my parents for believing me, pushing me to give it my all in anything I do. Would also like to thank my football brothers for helping me correct my mistakes and leaning on becoming a good football player. My favorite football memory is the pregame warm-ups on Friday nights and leaving Dakota at a grocery store in Pullman. Seems like Mr. Dakota needs to get some directions or maybe figure out what his team is. So there we go, and that is senior number 27, Eric Alejandre. So Brandon Flores getting ready for kickoff. There's still more happening. And the Wildcats, though, with that last touchdown from Timmy Torres, and you bet he deserved to get into the end zone. The way he's been running tonight, well over 150 yards now, touchdown to go along with it, and you can bet, you can rest assured he's going to be the player of this game, making sure that this team kept those offensive possessions moving, all because of his running work on the ground. Here's Hines trying to get it in. Myers only able to get to the 30-yard line. 8 minutes and change remaining here in this fourth quarter here as the Wildcats look to close this game out. Going to need every bit of help that they can in order to make this one work. Naches Valley Rangers down by 2 possessions. Unfortunately for the Naches Valley Rangers, just even though they have a score in there, overall, their offense has been very, very stagnant here tonight. Less than 100 total offensive yards for them produced. Of course, they do have a lot of penalty yards that they earned. 55 and brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Anthony Ozuna, number 1.
Anthony Ozuna making the play in the backfield. 5-yard loss on that play. And Ozuna came breaking through that line, knew where the quarterback wanted to go, didn't let him get outside his shoulder. Saw that he couldn't go anywhere and went for the tackle and brought him down nicely. 5-yard loss there. Good play there by the Toppenish Wildcats defense. Second down and about 14 yards to go. Osborne, long ball, fighting for it and incomplete. Freddy Robledo there. Nice defensive play. Guler, the intended receiver. Freddy Robledo just being in the correct offensive position or defensive position there for the defensive back. Still a lot of things to happen. Naches Valley Rangers faced with a 3rd down and a mile. And considering where you're at this game and needing 2 scores and made PATs, mind you, you need to get to the 1st down marker. Osborne, long pass again. And did he catch that? And there's a flag after it. So I believe that's going to be offensive pass interference. It looked like he pushed off there. And clearly just outsized. And this is going to bring him back a few yards. Sportsmanlike conduct.
Sportsmanlike conduct against the Naches.
So I believe the ruling is it's going to be a completed pass. It's going to be a 37-yard completed pass. And then it's going to be the 15-yard penalty afterwards. So that's going to put the ball right at the 44-yard line. 46-yard line, I should say. Of the Naches Valley Rangers, still 1st down now. Almost read that one wrong. Osborne scrambling around in the pocket and tries to get that ball into the hands of his receiver, and he just does.
Number 14, Jet Hires.
Hires there with the reception. 12-yard completion. And Osborne. Slant, quick pass to Guler. It's going to be an 8-yard completion.
Number 5, Garen Guler.
Second down and 2. Osborne and
Timeout, Wildcats.
timeout called. Timeout called on the floor, or on the field, I should say. Almost getting ready for basketball season with that call by the Wildcats. Let's take a look at another senior profile here called Freddy Robledo. Freddy Robledo, number 24, defensive back. I would like to thank my family and all the homies for always supporting me in every game. And I would like to thank all the coaches, especially my defensive coaches, for always believing in me and pushing me to my best. Shout out to Coach IMAC for taking me under his wing and showing me everything I know, and much love IMAC, my favorite football memory is when Coach Maltos got dropped during practice in the snow last year. Ha ha ha, good times. Well, at least that was a light snow, you know. You never know, at least he didn't land on the hard frozen ground. Of course, that is senior Godfredo Freddy Robledo, number 24 for the Toppenish Wildcats. Back to action, 2nd down and 2. Into the hands of Ayers, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down. 2-yard completion.
At the 32-yard line. It is a 1st down.
The Valley Rangers need to get this ball moving. They need 2 scores. Osborne being met by pressure and can't get it. Gets away from the tackle. Osborne, nothing. He's going to run it himself and gets out after a gain of 5. Give credit to Osborne. He was trying to get his receivers in position, but the Toppenish defense just right there. The defensive backs, knowing their assignments, not to move, knowing where their man is, able to switch off and make sure that no play was made. So 6:15 remaining. Time is definitely not on the Naches Valley Rangers side. They're going to need to make a play here soon enough. 2nd down and about 5 yards to go. Osborne being made, and in the backfield he goes. Freddy Robledo with the play.
Quarterback sack by the Wildcats.
And if you see Freddy Robledo coming over from that right side of the line, just knowing where he needed to be, he sniffed out what the play was, saw that he was under pressure, and made the play and tackled to the ground and sacked for a loss. 3rd down and 11. The rushing attack here for the Naches Valley Rangers not been very effective. Olsen, Osborne, and pass thrown short, incomplete, intended for Guler. It's going to bring up 4th down, and you got to go for it, especially when you're on this side of the field.
4th down, 12 yards to go.
Naches Valley Rangers being more effective through the air, although not that much more effective than the Wildcats here tonight. Osborne. It was right down the middle. And Ayers with the catch. Completed for 12 yards. 14 yards, excuse me.
At the 20-yard line.
So all of a sudden here in the 4th quarter, Osborne able to find his rhythm and is making some good throws down the field. 1st down and about 10. Osborne, pressure and brought down at the 30-yard line. Loss of 10 yards on that one.
Quarterback sack to the 30, about a 10-yard loss.
Osborne sacked for the 3rd time here tonight. Would have had 5 for the Wildcats, but he was able to escape a couple of those attempted sacks. Great plays being made out here tonight. Give credit to both teams. Putting on one good game for us here tonight on this Friday night under the lights. Osborne rolling to the sideline, and was that going to be caught? But there's a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage, so this might be holding against the Rangers. It's in the area of holding. It is, and that's going to be another 10 yards.
Against Naches.
And perhaps fatigue settling in for the Naches Valley Rangers. After all, you needed everything you had just to keep the Wildcats at bay. And you bet any team moving forward, especially when they get to the playoffs, they're going to need to do the same. Wildcats knew this was going to be a tough game all the way around. First half definitely showed as we had a scoreless first half between these two teams. So Osborne now, second and a mile at the 50-yard line, throws one. Guler makes the catch. What a great catch, but short of the first down. It's going to be about a 40-yard completion. And Guler, over 100 yards now, rushing and get quick one. And Guler again, this time at the corner route. It's going to be another 12-yard completion.
First and goal to go, I think.
First down and goal now. 3:47 remaining. Thrown and through the hands of Guler. Freddy Robledo right there to make a play. Joshua Luna also in on that tackle.
Second goal from the 9.
The defensive backs and the Toppenish defense, you got to give them credit. They've bent, but they have not broken. In this ever so important matchup, they probably knew coming into this game it was going to be a tight one each and any way you put it. Osborne trying to make a play, throws it out. Is he wide open? He was for a second. Try to throw it over his left shoulder, but he was wide open before that. Perhaps just a small short throw to the flats may have gotten him a touchdown. May have been a miscommunication there between Ayers and Osborne. Boy, they really needed that one. Third down. Osborne takes the snap, being met by pressure and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Shane Rivera with the tackle. Shane Rivera, one of the newest additions to the Wildcat team, playing both on the offense and defensive side of the ball here, and what an effective player he's been for the Wildcats this season. His size and his length, able to get to the quarterback and able to defend the edge very, very well. Fourth down and essentially game on the line for the Rangers. They need a touchdown. Fourth down and goal. Osborne fumbling with the snap, able to retain it. Telling his receivers to go. Being met by pressure. Only one thing is good, and ball almost picked off. Wildcat defense holds.
Incomplete.
Intended for Jet Fires, and Osborne just couldn't find that lane to throw it into. Almost picked off. So out comes the Toppenish offense. And you bet you want to give it to Timmy Torres. Run out that clock. Get out of here with the tough earned win over a very tough opponent in the Naches Valley Rangers.
First and 10 Wildcats at their own 16-yard line.
Torres receiving it. Finding a hole. Gains 8 yards on that one.
7.
Timmy Torres nearing 170 yards rushing. 25 carries here tonight. And you can definitely say, especially when coaches go back and watch the film, Torres able to keep this Wildcat offense alive. Torres again getting another carry, and this time tackled near the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 1.
Behind the line
His 26th carry of the night.
for about a yard loss.
Under 2 minutes remaining now. And the Wildcats Of course, the Valley Rangers still have all 3 of their timeouts, so they could use them. It's going to be dependent on whether the Wildcats can get this first down or not.
Third down.
Grant gets the handoff, trying to get to the line of scrimmage, and does.
Jason Grant out to the 25-yard line.
Grant with 3 rushes, 5 yards here tonight, and of course the touchdown. Naches Valley Rangers taking a timeout here as the Wildcats, I believe, are going to think about it, going for it. I mean, mathematically, it makes sense if you just want to go for it here, 4th down, seal up the game. Or even if you don't make it, well, you know, you still got to play defense. And even if they score, if they don't get the first down, they're still leading by 2 possessions. Going to need to keep aware, if that happens, though, of kickoff and then the onside kick. So here we go, gambling on the line, 2 yards. Oh, and what happens here? And that's a false start on the Wildcats, and they're going to have to put this one away.
Against the Wildcats.
So, miscommunication there between the offensive line and the quarterback, going on a hard count, trying to get that defense off sides, trying to get a free one. Fortunately, did not work out. They're going to be forced to punt. Minute 24 remaining on the clock. Perez with the punt. 50-yard line. 51-yard line, and that's where the Naches Valley Rangers are going to have one last crack at it. But less than 75 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter, down by 2 possessions. They're going to need to make a lot with the little time that they have. Maybe you can get a quick score in within 30 seconds, running your 2-minute offense. Then you got to think about the math on the other side. And of course, the probability of just making a successful onside kick, very difficult as well. So we're about to see how this game ends. And we know one thing. Naches Valley Rangers are going to throw the ball. That's all they have. So first down and 10 from the 51-yard line or 49-yard line of the Naches Valley Rangers. Osborne dropping back. Quick slant to the outside and inbounds. It's going to chew up some of the clock. Gooler, 8-yard pass, reception there. Osborne looking downfield, long shot, and caught. Is he staying in bounds? I believe they're going to call him out of bounds. That's going to be a 33-yard reception from Osborne to Gooler. Gooler well over 100 receiving yards now. 40 seconds remaining again. Osborne with the quickness. Getting it, put one up there. And ball is knocked out of bounds there. Whereas Wildcats were in coverage. Leonardo Betancourt, I believe, on the coverage. So that might be Adrian Villanueva. It is Villanueva, so great play made by him, sticking with his receiver. 34.3 seconds remaining as pretty much time has run out for the Naches Valley Rangers. What a great contest he put up here today, though, and almost intercepted, dropped by by Freddy Robledo. Time and time again, Freddy Robledo right there in the most important parts of the game, trying to end it. Had that one in his hands, would have had his 3rd interception of the season. Playing the safety role. Here we go, 3rd down. 29 seconds remaining. Osborne throwing it in, almost complete there, but Jason Grant with the hammer. Xander Ayers did not like the feeling of that one. 23 seconds remaining, 4th down.
4th down.
First down is going to be at the 11-yard line, so they don't need to get it all right now, but with only 23 seconds remaining, time remains short. Closest game, one of the closest games the Wildcats has had all season here tonight. One of the closest games, I should say. Osborne throws it up. And that pass is caught.
That's a touchdown for the Naches.
Osborne. Osborne to Noah Robles for the 15 for this 18-yard reception. So right now, just cramping up, ready to Robledo able to get up. Trying to stay right there defensively. 7.4 seconds remaining. This game isn't over just yet, but 7.4 seconds, boy, you got to admit, not a lot of time. So extra point needs to be good. KT is up. No good.
Score now. Toppenish 21. Rangers.
So here come the Naches Valley Rangers. Now they put a few more ticks on the clock, 14 seconds.
13.
We'll keep it right here. Gives another second to finish out the remainder of our senior festivities. Let's go with number 72, Miguel Angel Munguia. I would like to thank my coach for keeping me in check, and they would discipline me when they would tell me to do the right thing no matter what, if it felt like that. Favorite football memory, East Valley pregame, the most intense and excited moment of the season. That's number 72, Miguel Angel Munguia. Also, senior number 79, Jorge Seria. He had some good moments as well. Unfortunately could not be here tonight, but best wishes to the young man, that senior here, part of a great football team, football tradition here at Toppenish. And we hope that everything ends up going his way here. So here we go. Final plays of the game. So this game ends if the Wildcats recover. If they don't, the Naches Valley Rangers are able to get on it. And who got it? Let's see. And so they're arguing there might be a penalty because it was touched before the 10-yard mark. So let's see if the correct call is being made on the field. gives us another moment here to take another senior. And they're going to do it. So it is going to be Naches Valley possession. Or no, excuse me. It's still going to be Wildcat possession. So Kareem Sampson. I'm very thankful to have been able to be part of the Wildcat Brother. I'd like to thank everyone who supports me and the team, especially my mom, and a special shout out to Coach Powers. It's a pleasure to be a student and an athlete with you. So here as the final kneel down of the game will be taken here by Joshua Perez. You got to imagine. And down he goes. And then to Kareem Sampson, number 76, his favorite memory, going to George Fox University and playing football with my brothers. That is senior Kareem Sampson, number 76. And with that, ticks at zeros. Wildcats with a tough, tight, earned win, 21-13. Here as the players are going to shake hands, do all of those festivities. Let's get these final three profiles out of the way. Not very many of them left here. First, number 55, Tracer Mitchell. I would want to thank all the coaches, family, players helping me push hard and becoming a better person, and sincere person helping me with and Simpson for helping me with my injuries. My favorite memory is when all of the D-line showed Hernandez our touchdown celebration, and Hernandez said, "I can't look at you guys the same." Senior, number 55, Tracer Mitchell. Another senior, number 53. Number 53, Ricardo Gonzalez. I would first off like to thank my siblings for always supporting me and always pushing me to be the man they know I need to be. I would like to thank my parents for always having my back and supporting me to do better in school as an athlete. Love you guys so much. Favorite football memory would be my freshman year. On one day after practice, Jesse put a can on his head, and Keanu said he was going to try to knock it off with a football, but instead hit him straight on the head. I will never forget this. That's number 53, senior Ricardo Gonzalez. And the final senior profile of the night, the man who scored 2 out of the 3 touchdowns here tonight, Jason Grant, number 10. He's thankful for. I am thankful for all my past coaches that made me the player I am today. Thankful for all my supporters that have been there and for all my ups and downs. Above all, I am thankful for my family. I would be nowhere without you guys. Favorite football memory when Terrell was running around, bug naked, it says, and jumped on the sleeping teammates at a football game. Maybe. Who knows? Allegedly. We'll see with that. And that is senior number 10, Jason Dale Grant. What a great career he's going to have in the future. Well, folks, this is going to be the end of our show. Been extended senior night festivities. You see the score on your screen, 21-13, the final. The Toppenish Wildcats moving on next week, and on the line, the SCAC West Championship. Who's going to win out of that one the next week? Some quick statistics. Of course, leading all offensive players for the Toppenish Wildcats, Timmy Torres with a touchdown and over 160 yards rushing here tonight. Well, anyways, folks, thank you for joining us. This is Antonio Tony D. Dominguez. Wildcats walk away with a tough earned win here in Toppenish, Washington. Next week, over at Zilla, join us. Be there in person. And good luck, and we'll see you out there next time here on the THS Digital Media Network. Have a good night.